punch it, it's gonna have a lot more power. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. What is up, guys? Welcome to another video. Right behind me is a 2009 G37, and we're going to show you how to manually shift this G37. This car is equipped with the 7-speed automatic transmission, but we are going to show you how to manually shift this car even if you don't have paddle shifters. As you can already tell from the wheel that this is the sport model, which means it does come with the paddle shifters. This is the all-wheel drive sport model, which gives you the paddle shifters, which makes this car very fun to drive. But even if you don't have paddle shifters in your G37, we're going to show you how to manually shift this car. And trust me, even with the automatic transmission, the manual shifting is just so much fun. It makes this car very, very fun to drive. So with that being said, let's drive into the car and we're going to show you how to manually downshift this G37. Now, before we go out on the road, I just want to explain some of the basics here. In terms of how to manually shift your G37, we're going to learn how to upshift, we're going to learn how to downshift, and we're just going to learn how to really enjoy this car without damaging anything G37. Alright, so as I said, that this is the sport model, so you do have paddle shifters here. But this video is not about paddle shifter. We're going to show you how to manually shift the car. So if you look at here, this is your 7-speed automatic transmission. And you can see it's got the standard PRND, so you've got drive here, but you also have the plus and minus here. This indicates manual shifting, which will be activated when you put it into sport mode. So when we go out on the road, I'll show you how to put in the sport mode and how to manually shift this car, upshifting, downshifting, and everything in between. You really enjoy this G37. There's of course a couple of things you have to be careful with so you don't damage anything on your engine, so make sure you pay close attention to this video. With that being said, let's fire up and let's get out on the road. Okay, now that we're on the road, we're going to show you how to manually shift your G37. The first thing we need to do is put the car into sport mode. So we're going to go ahead and put it into sport mode. As you can see, it's in DS, which is the sport mode. And to upshift, you're going to bump up the shifter. And to downshift, you're going to bump down the shifter. So you want to be careful in terms of when you're upshifting. The car has a red line of about 7,400 RPM. So as long as you upshift before that number, you're fine. For the downshifting, it gets a little tricky because you don't know how much RPMs are going to shoot up until you practice a little bit more. So to be conservative, I would say make sure you're downshifting around 3,000 RPM or so. So that way when your RPMs shoot up, you don't get to the red line and over rev your engine. So we're going to go ahead and get out on an open road right now. All right, so to activate the manual shifting, you're just going to bump it up. So I just did that, and now we are in 4th gear, as you can see. So as I keep going, I'm going to go to 5th gear, keep accelerating. Right now I'm at around 3,000 RPM, and let's just bump it one more up. There we go, drop to 5th gear now. All right, went up to 5th gear. We'll do one more time, and now we are in 6th gear. So as you upshift, your RPMs are going to climb. You're going to get into higher gear, which means it's going to be less power, but obviously if you have higher speed, you want to be able to do that. So 7th gear is the maximum gear. So we're going to go ahead and do that to get into the 7th gear, which is the maximum gear for the G37. So we're going to bump it up one more time, and you can see now we're in 6 now. So now the good thing about it is as you're slowing down, it will downshift for you automatically. So we were in 6th gear. I didn't downshift, but I'm already down to 5th gear right now. So now if I keep increasing the speed, then we can bump it up to 6th and 7th gear. So let me do that and show it to you how to do that. Around 2,000 RPM in 5th gear right now. And we're gonna bump it up to 6th gear. You can see it's in 6th gear right now. We'll do one more, and that's the maximum 7th gear. Now as we slow down, you'll see that the RPMs are gonna drop because it's gonna downshift for you. So right now we're in 7, but let's say if I wanted to slow down, I can go ahead and hit the brakes a little bit. As the speeds are dropping, you can see it's already in 6th gear. Now it's in 5th. I'm not downshifting at all with the paddles or with my hands. We are just in 5th gear now. If I keep braking, it's gonna drop it further to 4th now, and so forth. All right, so now we're gonna show you how to downshift. So we are in 5th gear currently, and I have it in sport mode, 5th gear. So all we're gonna do is bump it down one, like this, and you can see their RPMs went up to 4th gear now. We're gonna do it one more time, drop it into 3rd gear. And you can see the RPM went up more, and we are in 3rd gear. So now if you punch it, it's gonna have a lot more power. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. bump it up. One more, there we go. So now we're in 4th. Bump it up. Now we're gonna bump it up to 5th. There we go. So this is how you upshift and downshift your G37 manually if you don't have the paddle shifters. I prefer using the paddle shifter because I have them, but if you don't have the sport model of the G37, you're not gonna have the paddle shifter, but you can still manually shift it and enjoy the car a lot more than you would just driving it in automatic or even sport mode. Now what I'll do is, I just want you to observe the process itself, so I'm gonna stop talking and just kind of let you see the RPMs and all the action with the upshifting and downshifting. But yeah, guys, that's how you manually shift your G37. Very easy to do. Just put the shifter in sport mode and basically go up or down in terms of upshifting and downshifting. The biggest thing to be careful with is when you're doing it, you don't want to over rev your engine. So when you're in manual mode, you want to make sure you're paying attention to the RPM. So if you're going to be upshifting, you just got to upshift before 7,000 RPM. If you're going to be downshifting, just to be conservative, I would probably not downshift if your RPMs are above 3,000 RPM. So you'll get a hang of it once you kind of do it a couple times. You'll know how the car behaves and which each downshift, how much RPMs are going to shoot up. So once you're comfortable with that, you can easily downshift even at like 4,000, 5,000 RPM because each gear ratio is going to be different. So if you go from 3 to 2, the RPM are going to shoot up a lot more than they would if you went from like 6th to 5th gear. So you have to be careful. So I would probably play around just to see how the RPMs behave. And once you kind of get a hang of it, it makes your G37, G35 very, very fun to drive and very enjoyable. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to smash the like button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.